off top, did you know that they used to do a tip ball before every quarter in the NBA? Play the music.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.
What up, Charlie? Welcome. So we're going to do a playoff team draft of all the available players at some point. But before we get to that, I've been watching a lot of old basketball, and I was shocked that I did not know. And I guess maybe I haven't watched full basketball games from the 70s before, but I was watching full games from the 70s, and they were doing jump balls at the beginning of every quarter. And I was like, hold on. This is how it used to be. Did you know?
I did not know, but even more value for Kareem. His team gets an extra possession every quarter.
That's what I was thinking. Is like, this is and he did win. It was a game. I think they were playing the Knicks. And I was like, that probably changes strategy a lot. Because now it doesn't really matter if you get a jump ball or not. It's going to be even. They should just do like in soccer where you just give one team the ball to start with.
Right.
But anyway, another thing before we get to the content of the show. You having a glow up on the internet? You got fans didn't know you were cute.
I'm being objectified online, both positively and negatively.
Just look at the positives.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just focus on the positives. Seems like I was gonna say the ladies love you, but it's not just the ladies that are like, damn.
No, this is all dudes.
All dudes are like, damn, Charlie got a little something going on. All right, so I'm stalling because I'm nervous.
Yep.
Charlie suggested that today we draft teams to win a championship out of the available NBA players. And he got so excited, and we're going through in the pre-show meeting talking about what we're going to do, and he pulled a Skip Bayless on me. Did you know that when I've done First Take back in the day, Skip Bayless is the one guy who's like, no, I'm not telling you my position. It's like, well, I mean,
you did First Take with Skip?
No, I don't think I did it with Skip, but when I was headed in to do First Take, that's what I was warned of. Is like, don't be like Skip. Like, remember that you are trying to do a good show. You're not trying to win the debate. And you were like, no, I'm not telling you who I'm going to take.
I can't give up my draft board.
I was like, I want the people to be entertained.
Belichick would never.
Because that's what we're doing here. We're not trying to entertain people. We're not trying to have a good time. We're trying to draft the best fantasy team ever.
I'm trying to have genuine conversation with my friend about basketball. And if you're not surprised, I've seen you bored on television before. Do you want to be bored on this podcast?
That's fair. But I also know that you are ruthlessly serious about this draft. It is a little concerning to me. You want to coach flag football? I need some intensity.
We'll play a lot of Tampa 2. We're keeping everything in front. Those kids cannot throw the ball downfield.
I got a quarterback. I think I got one.
You got one?
Yeah,
okay.
I think I got
There's
one.
the one kid with perfect throwing mechanics.
There's
really
two. We got two kids who can throw. That was a surprise, but we'll get to that later. All right. So how you want to do? You want to do snake draft?
Yeah, I think we should do a snake draft. Okay. And for the listeners, we're obviously trying to take the 10 best playoff performers and draft them, but we're also trying to build teams that make sense.
Right.
And there's not going to be bad picks, but my picks will be better.
This is the first time I've ever done this, and this feels like this is something you do every morning when you wake up.
I have a running list on my phone of the top 23 players in the NBA.
You
in my notes app.
Ill. All right. Well, since you care so much, I will give you the first pick. I know who you're going to pick. Let's get it out the way.
I'm taking Stephen Curry.
What?
With the first overall pick.
You sabotaged me. You were really serious about this.
You thought I was going to take Jokic, which would make sense because he is having an all-time postseason.
I knew you were going to take Jokic, and then I'd already set up in my mind, you take Jokic, I'm going to go Steph and then Giannis, and I'm going to feel good about my team.
I think if I'm building a roster, I want the one guy who requires more offensive or more defensive attention than anyone else in the NBA. Stephen Curry's playoff record is unimpeachable. He's the reigning Finals MVP. He averages 27, 5, and 6 in the postseason. They lost not because of Steph Curry. They lost because the team wasn't as good. And I don't know if I've ever seen a team basically guard the Warriors by just being like anyone but Steph. I will lose. Like, it's completely unique. He is a human rain cloud.
Yeah, I mean, the gravity that he creates makes the life easier for the rest of the players who still somehow did not perform this year. Steph is a great pick. I just knew he was going to be on my team. I was thinking about the high pick and roll with him and Giannis, and was like, who's going to stop that? Hey, you threw me through a loop. And now I have to take Jokic because I can't let you end up with Steph and Jokic. That's outrageous. You cornered me off the jump. All right, so yeah, I'll take Jokic with my first pick. I mean, I don't have to explain why. We're watching it.
Yeah.
I think the thing about Steph is he makes offense easy for everyone around him.
Yeah.
Jokic is the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think you could prove statistically, at least in the last couple of years, that Jokic is a better offensive asset than Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been as bad on defense as I think I would have argued he was if you had gotten him.
Jokic is having, by all advanced statistics, I mean, by raw statistics, he's having like one of the greatest postseasons of all time. By advanced statistics, his last three postseasons are all in like the top 12 postseasons ever. Like it's a perfect pick. He's incredible.
The thing about him that makes him so special, or one of the things that makes him so special, and I think I made the point last show about how I feel like Jokic is an evolution in the LeBron era and like do it all kind of guys. He's not the explosive player, but one of the advantages of having a big guy like that who, I was going to say can run the offense, but not only can run the offense, can run a top of the league offense. It's not like when Draymond is the decision maker where we're like, all right, the offense is good when Draymond's the decision maker. I think it's very different in that you're better off. Like I think you're better off with the ball in Steph's hands in Golden State, I guess is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
In Denver, just about any offense you could think of, you're better off with Jokic with the ball in his hands, which makes the rest of my draft a lot easier.
It is. Our first two picks ended up being two guys that if you put them on the floor with pretty much any other four guys, you have one of the best offenses in NBA history. Offensive guys, me and you.
Yeah. And I think
offense first guys.
I think I'm going to go Giannis, my second pick.
Okay.
Yeah. You thought you had me cornered. I got you cornered.
No, they work together.
Yeah,
They're
I
big.
know. I that's the point I'm making about Jokic's offense. I felt the need to get someone to run the offense at the top of the draft if I had Giannis. Now that I have Jokic, obviously I have someone who can run the offense and be a big and can protect the rim because that's Jokic's big drawback. I'm not sure what we're going to do with Jokic defensively. We'll figure it out, but we don't need him to protect the rim. Not that he can anyway. But I mean, we don't have to go down Giannis's resume. Like he's an MVP. He's a finals MVP. He came up kind of small in this year's playoffs, but I mean, was the reigning best player in the league, at least even with Jokic winning back-to-back MVPs. I still think as recently as 3 weeks ago, people were saying Giannis is the best player in the NBA. It was about 3 weeks ago when they lost, right?
Covers up a lot of the defensive deficiencies of Jokic. You got a rim protector.
Yeah.
Giannis is a really interesting case because he's amazing. He's the most forceful player in the NBA. He has been clutch in huge moments. For the postseason, though, if you subtract that one run, he actually has a spottier postseason resume.
Yeah.
But that's okay when you're next to Jokic.
We don't have to subtract that run though.
Okay.
How about we just leave that run in
there?
Yeah,
if doesn't exist.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
Except a lot better version of that. Like I feel like
I'm the greatest compliment ever.
No,
given
I guess
to
I'm just trying to imagine how they work together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think like Giannis does all the things like I'm not sure Aaron's like 3-point percentage, but I feel like he's not a great 3-point shooter. But he's like incredibly athletic for his size. And Giannis is a freakier version of that. All right. So.
All right. I'm on the clock. I got two picks here. My next pick, I'm taking the dog. Give me Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Steph and Jimmy, I have, in Jimmy, I'm getting someone two-way player, going to get to the free throw line at will. Anytime he's in the postseason, he just ran. Well, anytime except for 2 years ago, and they got swept coming off the bubble year. He just turns himself into sort of prime Michael Jordan. His numbers the last two postseasons have been outrageous.
Yeah.
Ultimate clutch time player. Two guys. End of the fourth quarter. I feel very good about them.
All right.
For my next pick, I'm going to need a rim protector. I'm going to need someone who can at least deter Giannis at the rim. I'm taking Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis has been the best defensive player in the postseason. I think he's been incredibly consistent. And I think all of the concerns that we had about Anthony Davis, every other Davis, A. Disney, Bubble AD.
You didn't have to go through all those terrible nicknames.
Street Clothes.
Oh, stop it. That's
Mr.
enough.
Glass.
Okay. We get the point.
Yeah, they were all bullshit.
He's on your team. He's gonna demand a trade now.
No. I was saying those are all, you know what? You guys, the people who said those names, those funny names, they should be ashamed of themselves. Anthony Davis has been excellent. He's been excellent in the postseason. He was awesome on the Pelicans in the postseason, torching the Warriors, even though series he lost years back. He's my big. You're on the clock.
All right. I like that. Good choice. Take it back to the Butler decision for a second. All those things are right. Do you have any concern about Jimmy Butler not being the number one option?
No. All Jimmy cares about is winning.
No, I don't mean. I mean from a tactical standpoint. Because no. I guess what I'm imagining the offense that I see them running now, it's hunt the mismatch for Jimmy, like screen until you get that mismatch, and then ISO essentially. And I guess that's a product of necessity.
Let's have him screen the way that Draymond screens for Steph Curry. 4-on-3 fast break every possession with Jimmy Butler being the point man. Perfect.
Not bad. All right. So I got 2 picks, and I think I gotta go. This problem is that the playoffs this year is going to have you think less of players that I think are actually better. Like, I'm stuck with Giannis, even though he's great after a bad playoff year. And I think I'm going to do the same thing with Jason Tatum, who's had a great playoff year at times and then really terrible one recently. So I like Tatum and Devin Booker.
Great.
It's a pretty good roster.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, I think he's unimpeachable right now. I should have drafted him first. I'll draft him first, just give him more respect, and then put Tatum back, because Devin Booker on both ends of the floor this year is taking a step up. I think up to like the best version of Tatum type of play. My man KD, I'm sorry, but you're a little old and a little broken. I love you. I wish that I could find a spot for him on the roster, but I think Jason Tatum, we saw him go for 50 not too long ago. I think he's probably the best perimeter defensive player that the Celtics have, despite the fact that that they celebrate Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart a lot more.
Yeah, defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart.
Yeah, Jason Tatum is one of the best perimeter defensive players, and he's big. He can shoot the lights out. Him next to Jokic, next to Giannis, with Devin Booker, like I feel pretty comfortable and confident, and I'm feeling good. I was nervous about
team's big.
Yeah, team's big as shit. We are pretty big. We can run a little bit. Jokic can keep up for a couple quarters.
So for my next pick, I'm taking Luka Doncic. He didn't even make the postseason. Yes, absolutely. He's a career 32-9-8. Every time he gets to the postseason, we always talk ourselves and be like, oh, he's not James Harden. He gets better in the playoffs every single year. He dragged a mediocre roster to the conference finals. He's hit buzzer beaters, and yeah, I think I got a steal with that pick, if we're going to be completely honest.
I think from a talent standpoint, you got a steal, but I thought that Luka was going to be left off because of his defensive inefficiencies and his ball dominant play style. And I guess you would argue that it's a product of what they need, but we have not seen. I guess we saw him with Brunson, but we haven't seen him in an offense where he's gonna have to move without the ball.
Yeah.
Like you must be putting a lot of pressure on your coach to talk.
I'm putting a lot of pressure on the defense.
Yeah, you put a lot of pressure on the defense, but I think offensively it's not as smooth a fit as you want it to be. So I think if we're looking at their 2K scores, yeah, he's in the 90s. Steph's in the 90s. I think Jimmy is in the 90s in the playoffs.
Improving 3-point shooter. All of Butler shoots the 3 well in the postseason. Obviously got Curry, got some space on the floor.
I guess I just don't know. I can't imagine the offense. I can't imagine Luka in an offense different than the offenses that we've seen him in, because he does not move without the ball. He always has the ball, but he doesn't move without the ball. All the clutch stuff is right. I would have drafted this team differently if I were you, if I knew Luka was going to be on it. I know it's a hard time passing him, but I think you made a mistake. I think you made a mistake. Add Luka to this roster.
Well, my fifth man, the guy who's going to stand in the corner, is Kevin Durant. I needed a little bit more size, a little bit more rim protection. He can still play defense in spurts. He's a great shooter. And even though he's gotten not his best past 2 playoff performances in the last 2 years. As a fifth man, as a floor spacer, as someone we know can play with Curry.
Yeah, he can play with
he's been the second best player on 2 championship teams. It's led by Steph Curry. So I'm happy with that guy as my fifth man.
All right, what's your roster?
My roster is Luka playing the 1, Curry playing the 2, Butler playing the 3, KD at the 4, and Anthony Davis at the 5.
It's a pretty talented roster.
Yeah, you have one more pick.
Yeah, I do. I was stalling because I was looking down my list of players and trying to see who fits with. All right, let me go over my roster again. Jokic, Giannis, Booker, Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a true point guard, which I guess I think I need at least one, someone to bring the ball up the court. I'm leaning, I guess, Jamal Murray.
Ooh.
Jalen Brunson, Halliburton, who did not make the playoffs. De'Aaron Fox, who did make the playoffs, but I don't think fits what I'm trying to do here. Although he can penetrate and drive and kick. That'd be pretty nice. Can't go wrong. I'll go with Jamal Murray, given that he's had the playoff success.
You got a little chemistry.
Yeah.
Jokic Murray chemistry.
Jokic Murray chemistry. And also, like, he's a truer, well, he's actually probably a score first point guard. But I guess I didn't want this. I want Jokic to run the offense. Mm-hmm. But obviously, he can't guard the ones, and he can't bring the ball up the court consistently. So I need someone who has found a way to fit around that. And I think who better to do that than Murray? I just won a championship.
I thought you were going to take LeBron and go team big.
Yeah.
as your one.
I should have.
I thought you were going to go between LeBron and Dame Lillard as your 2 guys.
Yeah, I didn't want Dame because I really like my team big.
Yeah.
I thought about Dame. I could go LeBron or Murray. But no, I think it's too late. But I think LeBron is just the age stuff.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's the same. Yeah,
it's the same reason why I passed on KD. I would have grabbed KD if he was still around and we just figured out the one. But
it's the reason I didn't draft Kawhi. It's like Kawhi's been the best player in 3 of the last postseasons he's played in, but he doesn't make it through any of them. Yeah. So it's like how you pick that guy and have him not perform. All right,
so the guys we left out, along with LeBron, which is kind of absurd that we did that, but I mean, we're talking about next season. If we could put these 5 guys on the court next season,
right?
I hate that I put that LeBron's not in this.
It hurts.
It's really wrong. Somebody has to go.
Someone has to go.
Somebody has to go. LeBron needs to be on. All right, forget it. So
you want to pick 6 men? We can pick 6 men. You can have LeBron. I'll take Kawhi.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that just in case.
Yeah,
LeBron and Kawhi. 6 men.
This is when you take the 2K sliders and turn injuries off.
Okay, all right. So no, they're not off because LeBron's better than Kawhi. So yeah, they're still on. You're just stuck with Kawhi. All right. So who else do we leave out? Embiid left off. Is there any discussion to be had? I was so sure that we're gonna have to have a discussion about Luka, and I was ready to defend it. But Embiid, it's just his playoff performance because he's obviously a talented enough player to be in this group.
I mean, we have a preponderance of evidence that he has not been a dominant postseason performer, and his teams. Look, man, you got to make it out of the second round.
Yeah.
And you're an MVP now, and you're coming up short again and again, and you just blew this 3-2 lead to a team that's getting smoked in the conference finals.
Was Draymond Green at all in your?
He was.
Yeah, he was in mine too. I had him in there, but he didn't make it up and past any of these other players. He's so special. Yeah. And also so like
if I didn't have Jimmy Butler, I would have considered Draymond Green.
Just for
you get a lot of that. You get a lot of those qualities.
You get that mentality, and he's a valuable player too, defensively. If I wanted to go small ball, then I think you have to go. But I went big ball. Yeah, the biggest of all balls.
And, I mean, you kind of get the best of both worlds when you have Jokic and Giannis as your big ball centers.
So how do we do this? We just gonna put it up, let people decide who wins?
We're gonna put it up on the poll, and I guess not on the poll. We'll put up a graphic online and see. Let the people pick the winning team. By the way, I also had Jalen Brunson on my list, Dame Lillard, Jamal Murray, and Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. I had that. I had a couple other names: Siakam, Halliburton, Bridges. Just like because I was taking this.
Mikal Bridges, rich man's Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I was. It's so rude. I was taking this roster construction thing pretty seriously. Where it's like obviously these players are not as good as some of the players that we left off, but I wanted people to fit, so I had to be ready just in case. But yeah, I had AD, and you beat me to that. I think we covered everybody.
Yeah, I mean. we're in a really interesting place now because I genuinely think you could have made a case for any of those top 4 guys to be the first pick.
Yeah.
You could have picked, and no one would have been upset if you took Jokic, Curry, Jimmy Butler, or Giannis.
I'm surprised you ain't take Big Vic. He doesn't count yet. He has to be
Honestly,
first.
if there was a tip ball for every quarter, I would have taken Vic.
He's what, 7'4", 7'5"?
There's a video of him
that?
standing next to Rudy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of pictures. They're both French centers, so there's a number of pictures of them next to each other, and he makes Rudy look like a 3.
Yeah.
And it's outrageous. Oh, we should mention that you and I got come at by a basketball insider. Told us to cool it on our Big Vic love.
Yeah, anonymous friend of the pod told us that we were wrong about our slurping of Victor Wembanyama, me calling him a potential All-NBA player, and that he's going to get pushed around.
Wosny Lambre is the anonymous guy. You don't get to hide in the shadows.
Okay, I didn't know if he wanted that take out there.
Yeah, all right, well, it's out there now.
Right,
he said that we were too high on Big Vic, and he don't like young guys and a bunch of other stuff, and that Vic may not even make the team.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting Walker Kessler over Victor Wembanyama, so
that's what you want to do. We
Yeah.
got to have Wosny on sometime soon so he can defend his Vic hate. Anyway, appreciate you, Charlie. Good fun. Who you got winning the championship? The
Nuggets.
Yeah.
Nuggets in
obviously.
5.
All right. Roses and Thorns.
He's so good.
How has Dominique been lately?
Bad or good?
Let's find out. This is Roses and Thorns.
All right. Time for my favorite part of the show. Roses and Thorns with my wife, Ashley. Hello, Ashley.
Hello, Dominique.
Welcome again.
Thank you for having me again.
We got a nice new graphic. Look at that.
And Oscar said, and it's going to be a little blurry, but don't worry. It'll be great on screen. I said, it doesn't look blurry to me.
Yeah,
My eyes
he
are bad. I
doesn't
never.
know how terrible
yeah.
your vision
I'm like,
is.
it looks great. Even with contacts. It's so crazy.
Well, I'm proud of you. Learn how to put contacts in. That's a rose for you.
So I've been wearing glasses since I was in first grade. The same, I don't know why that's funny.
Because I was thinking about the pictures of you as a first grader.
So
with
the
glasses.
dumbest part was there are a lot of pictures of me. I never wore them in school till 8th grade when I was taking standardized tests, and was like, oh shoot, like the bubbles, they're like blending in to each other. My mom was out of town. My dad had to take me to Our Eyes because we had like a whole week of testing and I had to get these new glasses. But I only ever wore them when I thought my parents would see me, or I knew they would see me. So I wore them for school pictures. And once I started playing sports, they were reading glasses, by the way. I wore them, so I didn't need them for school pictures or for sports. I wore them for sports and school pictures, or if there was like a recital. Times where most people would say, I am not going to wear my glasses for these things. I was like, nope, gotta wear them. So my parents think I wear them all the time.
You at sports is pretty funny.
That's so rude.
How's it rude?
I was MVP of the B team. It's been discussed.
Yes, I've been hearing this for quite some time. Emmy had a good sports weekend.
The little one who hates sports scored 3 goals in her soccer
And she scored
game.
2 last week and 1 the week before.
Yeah, so next week it's going to be 4. Oh, next week's Memorial Day. Speaking of, where are we going for Memorial Day?
Nowhere.
I cannot be stuck at home.
Yes, you can. That's where we're going to be. We went out last week to the finest city. So I want to talk about how much I love the city of Baltimore. Also, we'll get to that eventually in the concert we went to with Bruno Mars, which was incredible. But first, where you want to go for Memorial Day? I don't know why it's funny that you have this little thing where you like pretend like it's up to me, or you like say that you have an idea. Like, we're past this. I learned many years ago that when you're like, I'm thinking about this, that shit is already done.
Well, listen, here's the problem. I'm not doing it because
good.
The only reason is this, because I do not want to go to Miami for Memorial Day. It is just with kids.
It's too what?
Too much. One time we were there with Declan, and this was spring break.
Memorial Day?
No, it was spring break.
Yeah, spring break. Yeah.
And like literally and he's like 3, and we're at a stop sign. I mean, we were with all of our kids, I guess. I mean, maybe he was 4, and we're at a stoplight waiting to cross Collins or something, and like it's crowded, and so his face is literally the height of the woman's butt in front of us who's wearing a thong bikini, and like we walked, like, and he walked away. You know, kids have no sense of personal space, so he walks way too close to her, and then like his head is like right
face
up
in the
his
cheeks.
And I was like, get your face away from this dirty. And this is why we can't go to Miami for really fun weekends. But
I was there for that was New Year's Eve, because like when
yeah.
Le Batard's show was down there, it was like right in the heart, and I was down there and nobody wanted to go for New Year's Eve. I was like, no, it's fine. I'll go New Year's Eve. It's so horribly depressing.
And left me home with our 3 children.
It was depressing though. Like anytime I went down there, it was like fun to be with my friends and do the show. But being in where that their old studio, where that hotel was, is like right in the heart of the youngish part of it. Like if you go up further up north, it like gets a little older and a little like wealthier and classier. All euphemisms for other words that nobody's gonna say. But Dan's was like, what he's talking about. Dan's was right in the heart of it, and it's like, you want to feel old, is be on South Beach by yourself
on New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve, and just people acting stupid. But we were there for Memorial Day weekend.
But we were
that was
before we had kids,
and it was already too much.
And we were like 27, and like even the flight from BWI, we love Baltimore, but even the flight from BWI Memorial Day weekend had me. I'm never the type to be like, let's upgrade to first class. Okay, like once or twice we've done that, but typically like we're good. I was just like,
it's a short flight.
I know, but both of us, you even were like, you sure y'all want to upgrade? I think it was like AirTran. It was something where the upgrade wasn't even that expensive. It was like, nah, we got this.
I said that because
everyone
I know
was already
you,
in there all white.
But yeah, in that time I ran into like 3 people from my middle school, which was like I'd not seen in forever. Shakola in the middle of the street.
You did.
Yeah.
You ran into friends. Well, so no, I actually don't think we're going to go anywhere this weekend, which is kind of sad to me. The main reason I want to go, I'm awful, is I was putting on makeup today and realized that my face is peeling, and I'm getting paler, and I just need to get a tan again. But so I don't want to go back down to Miami, but I want to go somewhere close. So I was looking at like South Carolina beaches, like flying to Charleston or something. But it's going to be 71 degrees, I think, and not sunny there. So I'm going to just keep my behind at home. And guess what we'll do instead? We'll go see The Little Mermaid and feel like I'm at the beach.
You're on theme as usual.
Always on theme. I'm wearing a mermaid shirt. I don't know if you can tell. I'm so excited. That was my favorite. That and Aladdin. What?
I was just thinking of something you said. I guess you'll probably get to it eventually. Anyway, go ahead.
A dumb comment. Okay, I'll admit my dumb comment in a second. But those were my favorite movies when I was little. My favorite Disney movies. And
you're just as bad as the Twitter trolls who are upset that the mermaid was black. You are just as bad as them.
No, I'm not. So I'm very excited to see this. I haven't seen many of the live action ones, but I'm super excited for The Little Mermaid. So that makes staying home and having nothing to do a little bit more manageable. Because if I were at the beach, I wouldn't want to take my time to leave the beach to go see The Little Mermaid. I'd be like, no, I need the sun. I have been ordering the toys for my daughter, and for like gifts for her and her friends. For my cousins, like I'm just obsessed with them. So I saw they had the big box of Ariel and all of her sisters. And my daughter used to love one of the sequels. There's a prequel, probably the prequel, but the second Little Mermaid, I think, talks about Ariel when she was little, the old cartoon one. Mm-hmm. And so it has all her sisters in it. So like Anastasia, like all these people. And my girls used to love it. So I was like, oh my God, there's like a box, a Mattel set that has, like Barbie-sized dolls of all the sisters. So it came. And I was like, honey, I wonder if they've decided to cast like they're adopted, because like they don't all look like the same race. But like that's what I was stuck on. Not like I'm fine with the fact that mermaids exist. I'm fine with, my son keeps me like, how was there a live action one? This is just, how does her lipstick stay on underwater? Like they have all these questions. But whatever. But my only thought was, how are the mermaids? They look so different. Do they have the same 2 parents?
It's just
and
funny.
I was like wondering if it was like in Cinderella, how the one where Whoopi Goldberg has an agent. But like I really was all like concerned about this.
Funny. It's funny that you're very excited that the mermaid, you love the Little Mermaid. You're very excited that the mermaid was black.
Yes, and so are most of her sisters.
Yeah, and then we see all the people who were like angry months ago about that. And like, they're stupid. It's a mermaid. What difference does it make? And then as soon as you're confronted, like, oh, what? Her family not black?
No,
I got questions.
They weren't. I know. It's very dumb because it's like a very, very, very fake movie. But anyway, I'm very excited. We will go see that instead of going
to Miami or anywhere else.
Yes. Something else you said made me think of, you're talking about our sports weekend. So my son ended. He plays on 2 flag football teams. One's over, one's still going. But I have a rose. I gave Dominique kind of a rose in advance, and then like it never came to fruition several segments ago. But I have a real rose for him now. And you said, that's not what it was. You said, like, thinking about me in sports. I am about to be a general manager of a flag football team.
Not about to be. You are currently.
I am. Or as at least a coach's secretary, because Domonique is officially going to be the real coach for our son's flag football team in the fall. And I am so thrilled. And the other coaches have the nerve to be like, or somebody who with the league was like, oh, you got the other coaches shook. And I'm like, you're not even making kids try out for your team. It's going to be like Little Giants, except for his team. Hopefully, it's going to be the little brother's team, the one that looks really ragtag and bad, but then ends up winning. So hopefully that's what it'll.
Well, you are the general manager, and
I'm the GM.
I also am. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am currently in a state of mind where it's like, all right, I want them to learn proper skills, proper techniques, have fun, and like take it seriously. But I have a competitive something.
Oh, so you actually want them to win too?
No, I don't
want
right
them to
now.
win
Is the
it makes
thing.
Kids happy.
Right.
I want them to be happy.
That's what I'm saying. Right now, the thing is, I'm cool with it. Like, I go to their games and they lose, and the other parents upset. They're upset, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever, it's fine. But I guess what I'm concerned about is once I'm coaching their team, I'm at all their practices, they're running my plays. We're out here. I don't want that part of me to come out. I've worked very hard to tamp that down.
Definitely going to.
No, it's not. I'll keep it under control.
How are you going to feel when all the parents are like, and we know most of the kids' parents, when they're yelling at you like they do current coaches about like playing time or bad plays? Are you still going to be friends with them after?
I'm not friends with them now.
He says the worst things.
What? Clip that. Let's put it on the internet. I want them all to see it. They need to know.
He has the nerve sometimes to be like, I don't have any friends. I'm like, yeah, you don't have any friends, jerk.
I don't. It's fine. Sometimes. Jamil was making fun of me.
Yes, I remember
One
that.
of my former teammates was at, we went to Bruno Mars in Baltimore, or we went to Preakness, which was incredible. We saw the race this year, which last year we went to see Lauryn Hill, and we did not see the race. But this year we saw the race, and it was really fun. I'm glad we made it.
Accidentally got there too early for just Bruno Mars.
But I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
I enjoyed it.
It was okay.
It was great.
National Treasure won.
It was great. Oh, nice. Look at you. Paid attention. The race was great. It was nice being back at Preakness during the daytime because it reminded me of when I was
hanging out with your grandma.
Yeah, my grandma, I wish she would babysit me sometimes. She'd take me to the Preakness. Well, I went to the Preakness.
She did not take him to Preakness. Let's stop. She took him to Pimlico, probably with some Hennessy in his thermos.
Oh, it's delicious.
Not for him.
Oh, we can't share Hennessy?
For her. You were too little. I love his grandmother.
She's dead.
Well, you can still love people in their spirit.
I guess.
Anyway, and every time I see
won
my daughter,
$11. I'll never forget it. I won $11 at Pimlico. It was not a place for kids, but they had no rules against it.
I went to Laurel Race. Like when you said that, like it was like something kids don't do. I was like, I used to go to the racetrack a lot. What's wrong with that? But I didn't go to Pimlico because I lived in D.C. I went to Laurel because it was closer. So yeah, I don't get the problem. And they had dinner. Like you got to press the little buttons on the little thing. And
yeah, I don't remember all that. I just remember my grandmother smoking Moore's Greens, which were actually brown, while betting on horses, and she let me pick one time, and we hit, and I got $11. Looking back on it, I don't know. I might have.
You probably never saw that $11. Did she let you keep it?
No, I remember I actually got $11, so I don't know how much I actually won.
Okay.
But I guess that was her babysitting fee.
yes, well deserved.
The concert was so. I'm not a Bruno Mars like fan. But the concert, he puts on a great show. Like, it was awesome.
That's what I like his songs. Like, I turned out like I knew every single one that he played. It was only like a 45-minute set.
It takes you 30 seconds to learn the words to any song. Like, you hear a song once, and then the next time through.
No, Bruno Mars hits, you hear them all the time.
I don't know the words to any of his verses. Like,
I know, but it's not that I heard it once. Like, you hear Bruno Mars songs a lot.
In general, you know the words to it. You was rapping on the way to the football. Like, songs you don't listen to. You listen to them once.
But I hear them a lot. Like, so.
I know, so I guess maybe you hear them differently than anyone else.
My best parenting moment is what he's referring to. I was rapping on the way to the football game. My son, I let him pick his songs before his games, and he was rapping with me. Domonique was coming from our house because we were somewhere else and had forgotten his cleats at home. So Domonique went to pick up the cleats, and then I waited and left with him, and we met at the game. So I called Domonique. She's like, "Oh, by the way, did you also get a big water bottle? Because we don't have one of those." And he had gotten, of course, because he's the best. But when I called, it was in the middle, or it was towards the end of Dreams and Nightmares. And my son like really doesn't like when his songs are interrupted, and I know this about him. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait. But then I waited for most of the song. But then I was like, no, I don't want Daddy to leave yet, so I need to call him.
Graphic part.
And it was leaving a really graphic line because I forgot to do the edited version.
I play edited songs for them. Like, it's not that hard.
I searched the song and I press go, and it's like 50-50 if I hit the edited one or if I don't. Turns out this one wasn't the edited one. So then later my son was like, you turned my song off. And I was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, no. He was like, no, because when you called daddy, like it cut off and you didn't go back to it. I was like, yes, it did. So it was like 4 lines left, something about the Rollies when you first, but I did that part for him and he was so proud. And then I was like, what is it? You feel like the Dope Boys when they first touched them bricks or something. And he didn't know that bricks is what they were saying. He thought it was another B word that like he shouldn't say. He was like, oh no, mom, you don't know the real words. So then I found myself explaining to him what it means to have a rollie touch your wrist and how that's the same as a dope boy first touching his first brick.
Gosh.
And then, but he
Mom
was
and
so
hard.
proud of me because I knew it and I was like, I'm out. Is it I'm out or I'm gone? Whatever
think
his
it's I'm
last
gone is
okay,
the
whatever
last
his
thing.
last line is, like I hit at the time I got it right. And I've never seen my son look prouder of me and not even question me. Like once I explained it once why it was Dope Boys and Bricks, he was like, okay, I learned something new today. Rarely can I teach this mother effer anything. So I won that day. And I didn't curse just now. Oh my gosh. I'm like an edited track.
He is exactly. He is very excited and slightly concerned about me being the coach. It's because he believes
Why
that
is he concerned?
He believes I'm going to be harder on him than anybody. It's like I'm not going to be hard on anybody, but there are things that like the stuff that I think that the coach allows some of the kids to do because he's their coach and not as familiar with them is like arguing with the refs and stuff like that. Like, no, we're putting an end to that. You guys are 10, 11 years old. Don't talk to no grown man.
He raised his voice at me.
It bothers me
to argue
when
with the refs.
when I see them like.
And some of the parents
arguing.
on the side, I'll be like, but they're right though. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that ain't the point. It bothers me when I see them arguing with these 25-year-old, 28-year-old grown men about a penalty. Get your little ass back in the huddle. That is where we were drawing the line.
he's not an edited track.
Ass is not a cuss word.
Yes, it is.
We only gotta beat that out.
Well, it's because it also means a donkey, but my mom raised me to believe it was a cuss word.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have said it to my mother, but it's not like you can say ass on ABC television. You watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I didn't know that.
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way. So I was thinking about that. There are a few things that I got a little excited about coaching the team that I think that
He's
are
so
very
excited.
important to me. I'm not excited. I don't want to coach a team. I've had children
He's
for
so
12 years now,
excited.
and I've avoided coaching them. You're making me coach this team because you're the general manager. But anyway, run to the ball. Another thing they don't do, I don't like.
What do you mean run to the ball?
When someone catches it, the whole defense needs to go to the ball.
Oh, okay.
Like you can't rely on the person to pull the flag. Other than that, we're good. Don't yell at the refs and run to the ball. That's all. And be positive. That's it. We're not gonna have people because sometimes they get mad at each other for giving up a play or something. It ain't the NFL. Sit your little butts down somewhere.
Well, they really think it is, or my son does. So it's the league that it's in. It's the part of the league it's in. There's like a community organized, like anyone sign up half, and then there's the tryout part called elite. So the team is in the elite league, but if a parent's organizing it themselves, they can assemble the team however they want. So I just invited all the people from his community team to play on the elite team, but his community, like they're good. There's enough good players. But my son was like, this is tryout. Everyone needs to try out. Like I tried out. And I was like, sorry, GM, I'm making the decisions. I don't know. He's like, and then he said, he was like, Mom, he was like really passionate about it. He was like, you're right. I think most of them will make it too, but they need to try out. And I was like, they really don't actually, because I was like, it literally says on the website that if a parent's organizing the team, you do not have to do tryouts. And he was like, it is elite. I was like, it's not the Olympics. And what he didn't remember to say was the Olympics don't have football. But I thought of it in my head and I thought he was going to get to that point. So it's like, I mean, it's not the NFL. It's not even the XFL. It's like it's fine. We do not have to do tryouts, Declan.
We can call the first day of practice tryouts if it'll make him happy.
Okay.
I'm not cutting
I don't care.
kids.
I think he's finally accepted that there are no tryouts. But then he said, Mom, what if when you were, and he missed so many like lines of argument, which he doesn't normally miss with me. He said, what if when you were in law school, they just let in a random high school kid who never had proven that they could finish college or take whatever the law school test is and just let them into your law school? And I said, them getting a degree wouldn't affect me getting a degree. What it could have done is maybe watered down my law school. But he missed that point. I mean, because he missed the fact that like, okay, that's different then because you're not all on a team together.
Hilarious.
All you need is your individual. I was so happy that he missed these points.
That's what's funny. Is
because
that
I was like, he's going to say this and then I'm not going to have a great comeback.
The first argument you won against him.
I know.
As if it's
I know.
a great achievement.
And to be clear, I have better arguments sometimes. He just doesn't accept them. It's like he literally just will not hear it.
I wonder where he got that from.
I don't know. That is so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation how he's just out of nowhere managed to shift the parameters of an argument in the middle of the argument so that he can win. It's a great skill that I'm sure he didn't learn from anybody.
I know he didn't. I was thinking recently, I was like, what, like, I'm so grateful that I'm able to be really present for my children, and like my kids are getting older, and it's weird because I definitely like thought that once they were all fully in school, I would have like so much more free time, and of course between the hours of like 9 when I get back from dropping them and like 2:15 when I need to head out to pick them up, I have more free time. But I'm like, well, what is like a job that I can do between 9 and 2:15? Because I do love to be able to like take them to school, like Dominique's been staying up late watching like basketball and working, so like to let him sleep in so I can get them out the door to school. And to like
such a treat this morning.
Cook dinner. Well, except for if son at one point was like, nah, I'm not getting out of bed. I was like, if I have to wake up your father to lift you out of this bed when he is sleepy. But at first I had lied and said you were at work. You were recording. So I was like, I mean, he was at work late and he has to go to work soon. So you cannot have a 6-day today because one, you're not sick. But eventually I mentioned how he was making us miss our Starbucks window. He said, Starbucks, I'm up, let's go. And he even brushed his teeth well. Okay, brush them, period. But so what were we talking about? I wish I could figure out a way to like have something that I could do. And obviously not only during that time, I'd be fine working late, but like still to be able to be really available for my kids. Like, and Dominique will tell me stuff like, oh, you're so amazing. Oh, this is what you did. That was great. I'm like, I need to find a way to monetize some of these skills or this. So like the arguing, it's like, well, you have the degree to do it, you know, like you have the experience to do it. You could monetize it, but I'm like, no, that's too much. I only like to argue with my husband and my son. Like, I don't want to argue out in the world on behalf of other people. So if you think of something for me, babe, let me know.
Nah, I'll work on that. Something that is worth your time from 9 to 2.
I know, right? No, from 9 to 2, but then we could go start again. I could make a quick dinner early. We could start again from like 5 on. Like,
yeah, but I got so much extra energy now. We got to find a way to use
But so what's interesting, I'm a very tired person. I blame that on my Crohn's. But what's interesting is, and on my children, and my anxiety that keeps me up during the night when I should be sleeping. But that's actually gotten a lot better. Nice. I'm sleeping hard now. What's interesting though is that I find that even though the kids now obviously are all fully in school, they're so much busier after school, and I have more to worry about with them. So there's like emotional energy drain, and just emotionally like I'm thinking about them or thinking about stuff with them so much more. I definitely never would have imagined that they would like be more of a time suck now than they were when they were at home and they were babies.
They are very fortunate to have you, and that all your intelligence, emotional and otherwise, is dedicated to them. I would stay home with them, and you could probably be more successful than me. That we could switch that up.
Well, if you find me something that like,
so I gotta find it too.
Yeah, find it, and then I'll do it.
One thing I saw at the Bruno Mars concert that I wanted to bring up that drove me a little crazy, and I don't know why it's never come to my attention before, but there were people there who had like a whole person on their shoulders, and I was like, yeah, I guess that's a concert thing, and I guess I would do it because I love you that much, but I feel like I ain't here. Like, I want to enjoy myself too. It's just
he really was like upset about this.
I felt bad.
And it was
for my
out
man.
in the rain too. So we were in like a covered part that was up higher, and like we were in stools. We were fine. But it was like festival style. So people were like standing, you know, outside in the rain in front. And he spotted several people on other people's shoulders. You made an assumption. You couldn't see the person, but it could have been a woman holding the other woman up.
It's definitely a man.
Oh, you saw?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But he was like really upset about this. It's like, we're here, you have a drink, there's a concert, and this is what you're going to focus on. I was like, don't worry. I would never ask you. Even when you jokingly try to lift me up at home, I'm like, no, I'm too heavy. Put me down. I'll hurt you. Like
it's not even about being
I would never
hurt.
do that. Don't worry. Chill.
It just seems absurd. No, I wasn't upset, concerned about me. Like, I don't think I married a monster, but
the person is not a monster.
You're a monster. You are a monster. You're like, all right, we're going to sit here for this 2-hour concert and I'm going to be on your damn shoulders?
Yeah.
I would like you to enjoy the show too. Maybe. I care about you.
Maybe like for her favorite song.
Okay. I mean, I got you for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We good. One song here or there. Yeah. I don't know, but I mean, the whole concert, just somebody on your shoulders just seems...
Yeah, no, I would never do that. Even like sometimes like it was muddy and I listened to my friends. Sometimes, guys, you should not listen to your friends. Sometimes you should listen to yourself, okay? Like, trust yourself, especially when you get to an age...
Who also was like, just wear flats.
Especially when you trust yourself. I'm not going to say trust your husband when I'm saying trust yourself. Trust yourself, okay? When you get to an age...
Is that what getting married is about?
Okay. When you get to an age where, like, you know. So I'm texting my friends who are there, but the thing is they were there all day for the races. So, like, they're in their fascinators or their hats and their nice dresses. So I felt a little out of place going. Like, when I thought it was just a concert, like we've been to this before and it was the day before the actual races. So you could wear like jeans, but this was right after the races and like kind of, there were some separate tickets sold, but a lot of people were doing everything. So I was like, I can't just show up in ripped jeans. Like, even that's what I would wear to a concert. I should look like I was at the races a little bit, but not really. Like I didn't actually look like I was at the races. But I asked all my friends who were there and they're like, or not all, but a couple of my friends were there and they're like, wear heels. So I come in some heels. Luckily they're like comfortable. There's one type of heel I like that's pretty comfortable. You know, they're cute. They have like a wider base on the bottom.
Interesting.
And it was muddy and we had to like walk from the horse track to, and I was going to wear just tennis shoes, like Converses. We had to walk from the horse track to the tent where the, you know, viewing deck was. And the whole time I was feeling mud up under my like balls of my toes. It hurt. I was like, why didn't I just listen to myself? So listen to yourself is all. Trust yourself.
Good parting
That's the
advice.
message.
Trust yourself.
That I have.
And not me, because I said the same thing.
But he's a man. Like, I was like, yeah, okay. In this case, you could have also trusted Dominique. But generally, you need to trust yourself.
Oh, man. Well, you looked great either way, whether
Thank
you had
you.
on flats or heels.
Thank you. And like, they weren't uncomfortable. So actually, I'm like, what other colors are on sale on those? Because I can walk in those. I'm joking. JK,
No, you're
LOL.
not. I mean, the only part that you're joking about is because you probably own all the colors already. So no need to buy any more unless they come with some new colors. Did they invent some new colors for you? Okay.
I do not, Dominique. I do not. Like, you don't even understand. But I'm not going to buy them. I'm not going to buy them. I'm joking.
What don't I understand?
How many colors there are in them?
Oh, okay. I thought you was going to make me embarrass you in front of all these people.
Can't do it.
Well, you should be embarrassed, but you may not be about the fact that you have a entire separate walk-in shoe closet.
Does this look like the face of someone who's embarrassed?
Bye.
I didn't wear any heels or anything here, though.
I know you didn't like bye. You didn't want to get out right there. I thought it was a good joke to get out on.
Okay.
You got something else? You got a better climax for us?
I didn't wear heels today. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, that was better. I love you. Thank you.
I know you do.
Thanks, Addie, Sarah, Christina, Charlie, and the good folks here at Podville for hooking us up.
We talked about pre-con stuff, so we have to talk about sports.
We did.
Yeah, I forgot.
We never talk about sports.
Oh, I always talk about Jalen Hurts.
There we go. You got me back. You win.
Love him. Bye, guys.
This is the Domonique Foxworth Show.